Hi guys, John the Firearms Instructor. Welcome back to our channel. We are proud to announce our newest ebook, Press That Trigger, Mastering the Trigger Control. And this gives you all of my tips for becoming more accurate with a pistol. Trigger manipulation is one of the challenging things students have. I put this book together to help you understand more how to press the trigger properly, and then we put some drills together and things like that to help you really get down to the trigger control master. And I wanted to show you a couple drills today. Most of these are dry fire drills. If you don't know what dry firing is, that's actually using the weapon with no ammo. There'll be a couple of them that you could use ammo with, and I'll explain it to you as we go, like the reset drill. You'll probably want to do that dry, and physically you could do it loaded as well. So we've got a weapon. I've got a shield plus. It's going to have a decent trigger, not a crazy trigger, but each and every one of these will work for you. In the book, we explain dry firing. Dry firing is actually engaging the trigger in a slow cadence that not let the gun dip or wiggle. Now I'll demonstrate a couple of bobbles for you just to kind of show you what we're talking about, and then I'll throw a couple of good ones in as well. So let's go ahead and set this up. So dry firing, what you want to do, make sure of real quick. A lot of people dry fire in their own home, and what you want to make sure that there's no magazine. Make sure the weapon is empty completely. Make sure there's no bullets or any way of having a bullet mistakenly put into the gun, because you'll be engaging the trigger at home, and you want to verify every time that the weapon is unloaded. Cool thing with most semi-automatic pistols that don't have a double action trigger, you are going to rack it each time to engage the trigger anyway. So let's demonstrate a couple of bobbles real quick. This is commonly a trigger press with a bobble. See how that front post dropped a little bit? Or you can kind of get it up here and pull it really hard. You can actually bring it out again and really anticipate it. What you're looking to do, guys, is really just get it out in front of you, taking the slack out as slow as possible until the weapon cuts, and keep that front post not moving. Concepts of dry firing is just feeling how much the weapon is moving with heart rate, as well as how much slapping you're doing of the trigger. This is a great drill to help you understand trigger travel, how much the trigger moves before the weapon is in a position where that trigger gets all the way back and it's about to cut. Nice thing about the Shield Plus, it's got a very short wall on it, so technically there isn't a lot of trigger travel with it. So that's the first one, dry firing. How many should you do? I don't know, 10, 15. Get comfortable. You could actually dry fire at the range as well. Go ahead and do 10 or 12 of these to kind of get that nice trigger engagement. Where should you be engaging the trigger? Well, you shouldn't have your finger all the way in the gun. That's going to cause a lot of lefties. You should be right at the tip of your finger, almost pressing the trigger with the tip of your hand. Get your feet shoulder width apart like you're shooting. Put the gun out in front of you. Drive with your chest muscles. If you're a man, drive, push and pull if you're a woman, and just slowly press that trigger. Dry fire itself is probably one of the oldest mechanics you can have, but it gives you so much. A wall drill, that's the next one, the wall drill. This is pretty simple. You want to get to the point where you're right at a wall, a white wall, it doesn't really matter. You could use a target if you wanted to, you could do anything. And it's the same thing, it's just you're holding the gun completely still, watching the front post, and make sure it doesn't dip. The more you see wobble in that front post, the more you're pulling the trigger. The wall drill really supposed to be done at a very short distance. So you put the gun out in front of you, hold it out onto a wall, and you just slowly press that trigger without letting the gun manipulate. That's a real good drill. This actually, same thing. You could be 2 inches away. You could add a little bit to this if you want to put a pencil in the end of the weapon and a 3x5 card on the wall, and just punch that triggers very slowly. That pencil will come out of the weapon because of the firing pin, and it'll punch a hole in that 3x5 card. Once you've got the first one in there, you can do like 10 or 12 of them and see if they're all in that same hole. If they're all in the same hole, then you've done really well as far as engaging the trigger. If it dots the right or dots the left, well, then you're doing a little bit of manipulation. All right, so the next one is called the penny drill. And the penny drill basically is a drill of speed of trigger, but what you do is you take something flat. You could use this, you could use a casing, it really doesn't matter. And you're gonna put this right on top of here. Let's see if I can do this. No cuts. Put this out here in front of you. Bring it up. Taking your time. And slowly pressing the trigger. Okay, there's the penny drill. Do that multiple times until the bullet stays completely flat or it doesn't move. You saw some manipulation in there. You can do it with a penny as well. Let's see if we can do it with the penny this time. I think the penny is a little easier than the bullet. But you can take that, level it out, and press the triggers exactly the same. Boom. 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 And keep that from falling. The more you do that, the easier it becomes for you. And you become more understanding how much trigger press you'll have without allowing the penny to fall. The penny drill. Those two are good to understand how much creep you have. There is another one that could be done at the range. I don't know if I do this at home, but it's called the ball and dummy drill. And you know what a dummy round is. Take a dummy round, take 4 more bullets that are live, have someone load your weapon for you, and load a dummy round somewhere in between there. And we'll see how much anticipation you have when you push that weapon out in front of you with the dummy gun. Push it out, and it fires, and then that third one, because it's dummy, it will not fire. We'll see how much manipulation you do. This ball and dummy drill is a great drill as buddies to set your buddy up for failure and see if he actually manipulates the gun. If he's pressing the trigger properly, you'll be able to do it. If not, you're going to see how much anticipation. It's not really your fault. Your body anticipates the recoil and anticipates the muzzle flip, and it wants to tense up right before it to control some of that recoil management. These trigger drills are very important for us because they help us understand how much manipulation we're doing with a pistol. All right, so now we're going to talk about reset drills. I don't know if you know what a reset is. Basically, there is a travel that this gun's going to go to get back to the wall. And then once it fires, we can rack it and then slowly let it creep forward. Listen, did you hear that click? That's as far as the trigger needs to go to engage it, and it gives you a lighter trigger engagement than a full trigger press. There we go. So you go back, let it come forward. You're holding that trigger all the way back to the wall. So when you go to press it back out, you're going to get that reset. Do you hear that click? then you're going to get a pull through. And our job is to concentrate on the reset as much as possible. Now, doing that with dry is okay, but putting rounds in it, it works out a lot better for you. Now, I don't think you need to shoot a bunch at reset because it does slow you down a little bit. Remember, we're defensive shooters, so the round needs to be put down range in 8-inch paper plate. But it does help us with trigger manipulation. Guys, we put these drills together for you, and we put this ebook together for you to help you become the best marksman you can. This ebook is available on our website for only $1.99 right now during the holidays. Pick up this one or any of the other ebooks we have in our website, and you'll find yourself better prepared, more accurate in understanding the manipulation that you're putting on the pistol. Do me a favor, if you like our content, don't forget to hit the bell icon, the like, and the subscribe button. And every time we upload a video just like this one, you'll be the next to know. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line defense.